today's session, we also want to discuss a little bit more about Kirtan. And this will be our last session on the second island of the heart. And it was exciting to have Gauravani Prabhu on last week. I think many of you really enjoyed having him on the call. So a little bit deeper into the Kirtan so that we can try to see how we can make it a daily practice. So there is this great saint who wrote this beautiful, beautiful piece on Kirtan. And he is calling out for those that want to get on this beautiful boat that will ferry you from the material realm and cross over through this ocean of darkness or nations, or this ocean of repeated birth and death, and place you on the other side of the shore. And it's a very beautifully poetic writing where the sage is explaining what is Kirtan. And he uses the metaphor of the boat. That Kirtan is like the boat that can carry you from your material existence to the spiritual existence. And the interesting part of this boat is that everyone can get on this boat, and everything is also welcome on this boat. And if you're on this boat, what happens is you'll be able to cross over simply by doing Kirtan. In this boat, you can carry the love in your heart, in your life, your anger, your emotions, sadness, ecstasy. You can take it all. You can bring it all on this boat. Because someone might say, okay, I'm not feeling good. I don't want to do Kirtan. It's not something that's going to work for me. Because I'm sad. I don't want to spend time doing Kirtan. Someone can say that. And this sage so beautifully writes, it's okay, no problem. If you're sad, bring that with you on the boat. If you're lonely, bring that with you on this boat. If you're feeling anger, that's okay. So basically what he's saying is that all emotions are welcome to the Kirtan. And when you bring all your emotions and everything that you have, everything that you are, this boat of Kirtan will carry you to the shore. It's very important to realize when the sage is making this statement, it is saying that Kirtan needs no qualification. You just simply have to jump on the boat. If there is a Kirtan going on, you just jump on the boat. Get into that Kirtan space. And even if there's no Kirtan going on, you can do Kirtan every day by yourself. And transport yourself into this beautiful boat of Sankirtan. So then you'll be able to transcend your material existence and go into this higher realm of spiritual consciousness, of prema bhakti. So what we have learned from this example is that everything, regardless of what you have, the bags that you're carrying on your shoulders, it doesn't matter. You just have to get into the boat of Kirtan. And this boat, interesting thing, the oars of the boat is if you do this. See, raise both your hands. If you do kirtan with both your hands like this is the symbol of surrender. These two arms that you lift is like the oars of the boat. You notice that whenever you feel free, you raise both your hands. Whenever someone attacks you, what do? You raise both your hands. That means you can have it all. It's the ultimate pose of surrender. So in kirtan, when you simply raise your hands, these are considered to be the oars that will set you free. So when you're doing kirtan in your room, you can just sit, or you can stand, and you can raise your hands and do kirtan. Or it explains that you can use your palms together and you can do kirtan as well. You don't need anyone to do kirtan. There's a very beautiful story of this great philosopher in South India, Acharya, and he was very well known because he came with this philosophy of Advaita Vedanta. And it's very interesting because one day his disciples, they found him in the temple, and he was just chanting and dancing in spiritual ecstasy, doing kirtan all by himself. And his disciples had never seen him do kirtan like that. And as a result of that, they were completely shocked and bewildered. They thought their teacher had gone crazy. So this is what kirtan is. Now, there's actually a lot of scientific research on kirtan, and a lot of papers published. If you want, we can even send you them to you so you can actually read some of those papers, how it is tremendously powerful to change your neurobiology. It actually changes the molecules in the brain just to sit and do kirtan, especially with elderly people, that it helps to regain and bring your memory back. So it's used as a tool for elderly people with disease or no disease to make sure that they're able to retain their memory and regain their memory. So this kirtan is also a pathway. It's a pathway for shelter. It's a pathway for refuge, to take refuge and find a safe space. You'll notice that whenever we are encountering fear and other emotions, if we are able to place ourselves and just sit for a few minutes and get into this mode of kirtan, you will notice that you will find shelter, you'll find calm and peace within yourself. Whenever you're not peaceful, you just start doing kirtan. And it is that meditation, the power of the mantras, the power of the meditation of kirtan, that helps you to transcend. And it is a place, kirtan takes you to the place where you can find everything that you ever need. Because it takes you to the innermost core of your heart, where you'll find true eternal spiritual happiness. And this great sage, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he also makes a very profound statement where he says that I have bought these mantras, this kirtan has been brought from Goloka Vrindavan, which is the highest realm of spiritual planets. Golokera in beautiful Bengali poetry, he writes, Golokera prema dhana harinama sankirtan. That this kirtan has been brought from the highest realm, and it has been brought as a medicine, enechi ausadhi maya, that it has been brought as the medicine that dispels darkness of the material world. So understanding this beautiful island, the second island of the heart, that the kirtan, which is brought from the highest spiritual realm and placed it and given it to us, all we have to do is take this medicine. And this medicine is not bitter. This medicine is extremely sweet. And this is what the sage, this great saint, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, is saying. That if you would like to experience this, the power and the intensity of kirtan, then you must make it a daily practice. Scientific research saying that you must do 12 minutes of kirtan every day. What we are saying is spend as much time as you possibly can every day to do kirtan, even if it is on your own. So I want to show you actually a few ways to do kirtan. Very simple process, because it may sound, how is it possible to do kirtan by yourself? Many of you have harmoniums. If you don't have one, it's okay. You can sit in one place, and because kirtan is a multi-sensory activity, it is not just one of the senses that are involved. The working senses and the knowledge acquiring senses, both senses are involved, and many of them. For example, in kirtan, we use the mouth to chant mantras. So sensory organ of speech. And then we hear, right? And then we're clapping, we're dancing, our hands are used, our feet are used. In this way, the more senses that we use in the kirtan, that is, you can use as many senses that you want in kirtan. You can use musical instruments. You can just play a kirtan recording and just sit or dance in your room by yourself for 15-20 minutes doing kirtan. So this is the important part of kirtan, where we make it a commitment to be in that island of the heart, where kirtan becomes part of our daily activity. Not just, once a week I go to the kirtan and at Govinda's and I do kirtan, or I go to the home program and do a kirtan. No, it should be something we do every single day. And once we practice this kirtan every single day, you will realize that you'll be able to discover this beautiful island of the heart of kirtan. Any questions on this kirtan before we get into more stuff? Okay. So I wanted to give you a few stories from the yoga text of how this kirtan works. First, I want to take you to a place that's available now. There's a place in Bombay called the Bhaktivedanta Hospital. It's a hospital, of I think about 100, 200 room hospital. It's a pretty decent sized hospital. And they have hundreds of different doctors. And a very interesting thing happens there. I went to visit, where they bring a beautiful, beautiful altar of Jagannath. And there is a constant kirtan that is going on in their sound system. So every single hotel room has kirtan going on every single day in the mornings and in the evenings. And the patients are able to hear kirtan every single day. They have certain timings, and they bring Jagannath on a beautiful cart, and everyone gets to offer a flower and pray from their heart for their recovery. And I was so shocked to see and speak to some of the patients there. And the transformation that people have, the process of healing in their heart, is just so incredible. Because what requires in their healing process is positive sound vibrations. And to have kirtan playing in this big sound system, all the hospital rooms playing kirtan, what they have noticed, everyone, even just regular people from different faiths, they're able to see the recovery coming up faster and faster and faster. So simply through kirtan, their physical ailments, they're able to recuperate from their physical ailments faster, just through kirtan. And they have used this kirtan as like one of the therapies in the whole hospital. And I thought it was one of the most incredible things. And then I was thinking, as I was thinking of this kirtan last day, there's this great saint who is known as the personification of kirtan. And his name is Haridas Thakur. He's a very beautiful saint where he was born in a Muslim family, and he was so captivated by kirtan that he just kept doing kirtan all the time. And when the Muslim king found out that he was doing kirtan, he felt that it was inappropriate for a Muslim man to do kirtan. So he warned him. He said, look, you need to stop doing kirtan. Otherwise, you'll be punished. And he simply explained to the king, he says, my dear king, I am so enchanted by this kirtan that even if you punish this body and chop this body into many, many, many pieces, every piece that you chop this body into and you discard away, every piece of that body will be doing kirtan. So every cell in the body of this Haridas Thakur was involved and captivated by the intensity and the purity of this kirtan. So this is what happens. Kirtan completely transforms your physicality, your mind, and completely transports you on the other side, the other shore, which is the spiritual shore of existence. So this is why we're discussing the second island as something that we need to fully explore. When we travel to different places, the first thing we do when we unpack our things and we get on the road, we want to see what is out there. The sages are recommending that why not fully discover There's 9 islands of the heart. Why not? So Kirtan is one of the islands that have not been fully discovered. And it does not require any qualification. It doesn't need a special geography. It doesn't need beautiful environment. In every environment, and the sage writes that Kirtan can be done inside of your home, outside of the home, in the forest, in all circumstances, in all states of consciousness. This is how Kirtan is done, and the power and impact that it can have on the physiology and on our mind, and clear this beautiful pathway to the heart.